Department of Veterans Affairs estimates that as many as 20% of Iraq and Afghanistan war vets suffer from some form of post-traumatic stress disorder. Many who have been on the front lines of combat suffered an injury or have witnessed a comrade hurt or even killed. And now some veterans are finding help where you'd least expect it, inside a yoga studio.
It's a movement that is gaining momentum from nonprofit groups to the Veterans Administration health system. Yoga to help relieve symptoms of PTSD. One former Marine says it actually saved his life. Now he's made it his mission to help fellow vets one yoga posture at a time. As a captain in the Marine Corps, it was C.J. Keller's job to protect and support others. During the Iraq War, he was a member of a unit that provided security to convoys. He spent many days alongside Army units searching for homemade bombs. The work was stressful, to say the least.
You know, there was a huge element of surprise when something would happen, whether that was an IED going off, explosion, followed up with gunfire and a gunfight, an ambush, complex attack.
Keller found the stress lingered, even after returning home from his deployment.
Anxiety, recurring thoughts that I would kind of get fixated on. Couldn't quite figure out how and why to break those habits and patterns. I was self-medicating a lot with alcohol and abusing that, which is really common.
But when a fellow Marine veteran introduced him to yoga, everything changed.
It was potent, it was different, it was very effective for alleviating my symptoms of anxiety and my stress, and it just felt like magic.
A magic Keller knew he wanted to share with other vets dealing with mental and physical struggles.
Let's drop back into warrior one. Yes.
He helped found the nonprofit Semper Fidelis Health and Wellness as the organization's yoga director. He teaches a free class for veterans every Saturday night at Charm City Yoga in Towson.
And out to two.
So yeah, it's a little bit strange at first, but once they get on the mat, once they start to breathe, they start to allow themselves to open up, then they get it. The light bulbs start going off. They start to understand how they can better manage their symptoms. They can better manage their life overall.
Dr. Andy Santinello, clinical psychologist for the VA Maryland healthcare system, says the Baltimore VA has incorporated mindfulness-based interventions like yoga and meditation into its trauma recovery program.
So mindfulness-based interventions really offer a nice entry into treatment, a way to maybe experiment with letting go of avoidance as a way of coping with PTSD and experiment with facing some of the issues and problems that can go with PTSD.
Santinello says he's seen firsthand how yoga and meditation have eased PTSD symptoms in vets, and there's promising research to back it up.
And there have been a couple of studies that have come out to date. One in particular came out about a year ago suggesting that mindfulness-based interventions can actually be effective in reducing symptoms of PTSD.
Over at the Yoga for Veterans class, Marine vet Jason Baer is a regular. Baer served 2 combat deployments in Afghanistan and 1 in Iraq. Though he had an easier time than many transitioning back to civilian life, it wasn't without its challenges.
You know, always having to look out for you and yourself and your buddies. And so there was that vigilance. If you let your guard down, well, sometimes it was the last time, so you just you tried not to do that. You didn't want to let anyone else down.
Practicing yoga helps him to relax and stay physically active, despite having injured his ankles in Afghanistan. It also offers a sense of community.
A lot of us have a different perspective on life. Having gone through severe circumstances, losing close friends and colleagues, and having the discipline, and just as a cohort, even not of the same time, of the same experiences, there's just a certain relatedness that we have.
Baer plans to take over as instructor for the Yoga for Veterans class, while Keller will continue to support veterans through Semper Fidelis, still serving with or without a uniform.
It's helped me in a lot of different ways. Relaxation, the physical fitness. Then I might as well just go ahead and offer that back.
It's saved lives. I've had students literally come to me and say, yoga has saved my life.
Just see yoga and meditation as complements to established treatments for PTSD. The VA uses cognitive processing therapy, which helps people understand and change the way they think about the traumatic event. Prolonged exposure therapy helps people reduce their fear of a traumatic memory. 80% of people who have completed these treatments see a significant reduction in symptoms.
What we do know is that if you've had these symptoms for more than a month, it's unlikely they're going to really remit on their own. But we do know that if you come in, we can really help. And we have great treatment, great therapists here, and to help reduce those symptoms.
These treatments typically last 3 to 6 months, but could go longer based on the individual.